fashion, celebrating their amazing 2011 comeback. Then it was time for Carlos Peña's grand return. 3-2. And a drive! High and deep to right! Welcome back, Carlos Peña! And a high fly ball back into left. Carlos Peña ends it, and the Rays have pulled it out with 2 in the ninth. 7-6 the final. Today, left-hander David Price makes his 2012 debut. Rays baseball starts now on Sun Sports. Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. It will be another sold-out crowd at Tropicana Field tonight for the middle game of this series between the Tampa Bay Rays as they play host to the New York Yankees. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Statz. Great to have you aboard. Well, I'm not sure what the Rays can do for an encore after yesterday's season opener. Perhaps we're limited only by our imagination. Carlos Peña back in a Rays uniform, and boy, did he do it upright.
I mean, how about that homecoming? 3 for 5, 5 RBIs, the big grand slam early. Here it is. First inning, a steady diet of fastballs. He finally gets a mistake, does not miss it. 4-run lead right there for the Rays, but this was the most impressive at-bat right here. That was a 3-1 fastball that Carlos Peña let get deep, took it the other way, base hit, and then there's the game winner. And that right there, too, as far as that ball traveled, Carlos Peña cut down his swing with 2 strikes, just trying to put that ball in play. That's the kind of power that he has. Got a lot of carry, huge day, but I love the approach in those last 2 at-bats.
Well, Peña's exhibition yesterday notwithstanding, starting pitching still the strength of this ball club. And David Price will go to the mound tonight for the Rays. And when you look at his numbers from a year ago, they're all in place. The only one that's out of place would be the wins and losses.
Yeah, and David Price has said that, disappointed in those numbers, but not exactly how he threw the baseball. He did some really nice things. He set career highs in starts, innings pitched, strikeouts. He lowered his walk total, did a lot of nice things statistically that didn't translate, but guess what? New year, new opportunity, and for David Price, that starts tonight.
Starting pitchers presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Hiroki Kuroda coming over from the Los Angeles Dodgers, a Yankee free agent sign. He'll be on the hill for New York. David Price, the classy left-hander, on the mound for the Rays. Rays baseball just around the corner. Game 2, moments away.
Tropicana Field, it's Saturday night. Baseball, that is. Yankees and Rays, game 2 of 162. For Tampa Bay, hard to just match or even try and reproduce what happened in game 1. But so many different oddities happened last night as we look at our Toyota trends. For the Rays, Carlos Pena, his 8th career walk-off, his 8th career grand slam. He did it against Mariano Rivera. He never had a hit against Rivera. For the Rays, first time ever, they had won 5 in a row against the Yankees, 4 straight to end last year. And then, of course, the opener last night, 7-6 in dramatic fashion. Carlos Pena, what a homecoming it was.
You know, this is truly special. You know, I don't take this for granted one bit. I truly appreciate it to the max. You know, when I was running to the line and I heard, you know, everyone just, you know, giving me all the love, you know, obviously it's something that I appreciate greatly, and it's a blessing just to be back.
But how about the difference between a spring training game and a regular season game? Was it that obvious tonight? I mean, from the very first inning, that thing felt like you're in the middle of the season, you're heading into October. That's a tribute to both teams, I think, the fact that they played it the way they did and the way our guys responded. We get on top, they come back. What a beautiful first game.
Carlos Pena, the recipient of a shaving cream pie from B.J. Upton. Look at the clock. We're under 2 minutes. We're ready for baseball. It is Garotta against Price. First pitch right around the corner. Swain Stats and Brian Anderson with all the action coming up next on a Saturday night right here on Sun Sports. Enjoy, everyone.
The Rays have taken the field. Game 2 of the series between these two clubs. And New York will line them up this way. Derek Jeter is the DH, followed by Nick Swisher in right, and Robinson Cano hits third at second base. The third baseman, the cleanup man, is Alex Rodriguez. Switch hitting first baseman Mark Teixeira follows. Hitting in front of the center fielder Curtis Granderson. Andrew Jones in left. Russell Martin will catch again. And Eduardo Nunez will hit ninth and play shortstop for Joe Girardi's club. All of that against the Rays' 26-year-old lefty David Price.
You see the numbers from last year. Career highs in starts, innings pitched, strikeouts. It'd be important for David Price to establish that fastball early on both sides of the plate. And when you see him do that, especially to the glove side, he sets himself up for a nice outing.
All set to play ball. Derek Jeter in the batter's box, and the first pitch lifted up the right side. That's going to be out of play. Foul ball, and that's a strike. First pitch presented by Pinch a Penny. Well, Jeter in the game yesterday had a base hit. In fact, that hit came in the very first at bat. He was 1 for 4 with a walk. Pitch down and in. Now 1-1. Swisher, who is next, is one of the guys in this lineup who has given David Price a run for his money. Ground ball headed toward the middle, knocked down by Brenyak, but no play. The loose ball rolling to Keppinger at second. Jeter's aboard with a base hit.
Well, let's take a look at the Coventry Healthcare scouting report on David Price. He's got the overpowering fastball. Talked about the need for him to establish that on both sides of the plate. Be more consistent with the breaking ball. Last year we saw it sometimes very sharp, tight, and late. Other times it would kind of roll in there. And a harder changeup out of David Price is better. When he throws the changeup down in the 82-mile-an-hour range, he tends to slow his arm up a little bit. You want to see that velocity on the changeup in that 84, 85-mile-an-hour range.
And here is Swisher hitting from the right side. Pitch down and in. A ball to no strike. Swisher's 10 out of 22 lifetime against Price with a home run and 7 walks added to the 10 hits. He's up in the number 2 spot for Joe Girardi. Fastball missed and the count is 2-0.
Those numbers off of David Price, they make sense. Nick Swisher's a good hitter from the right side. He's a good fastball hitter. And with David Price, guess what? You're going to see a lot of fastballs. He hasn't missed too many.
And now it's a 3-0 count. Swisher taking the fastball out of the zone. Runner at first and nobody out. Just underway. That's a strike. 3-1. Price at the Trop lifetime is 21-14, but he was 4-9 here last year. Lob toss a little high over to first. 12-13 overall, covering 34 starts a year ago for David. One popped up. Keppinger out from second base. Football so high, not an easy play for the second baseman.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up. Left to right in the outfield, Matt Joyce, Desmond Jennings, and Ben Zobrist across the infield third to first. Evan Longoria, Reed Brignac, Jeff Keppinger, and Carlos Pena. Jose Lobaton gets the call behind the plate tonight. The defense is brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
Robinson Cano. Pitch is in there for a strike. Cano had 2 hits and a run scored yesterday. Look at his numbers from a year ago. One. More and more, Robinson Cano has emerged as the power production guy in this lineup.
Continues to mature as a hitter, lefties and righties. You see obviously a tough customer here in David Price, and right in that 3-hole. They don't move him.
There's a strike. Mid-90s fastball. 1-2. Minute 96. 2-2. Jeter opened with the base hit. 1 out. And a chopper is short. Brignac out at second, and Keppinger will not have a play at first. So they get the force play on Jeter. They get the lead man.
And the feed there from Reed Brignac right to the belt of Jeff Keppinger. Kind of handcuffs him. He's not able to get the ball out of the glove cleanly. You see awkward as he has that glove. There's a good look at it right here. Just not able to get it out, get anything on that throw, so he eats it.
And I'm not sure they would have had Cano at first anyway. The ball not hit overly hard. It would have been close, but I think Cano would have beaten it. And now Alex Rodriguez takes a pitch down. A ball to no strikes. This time Brignac shaded toward the hole and deep and short. Longoria back at third, and shaded toward the middle is Keppinger at second base. And now he goes straight up the middle and a little bit to the shortstop side of the bag. Behind second. The count is 2-0.
You see Jeff Keppinger right there. Joe Madden not afraid to pull the shift out on righties, lefties. Yesterday it seemed like there was just one flow from one side of the field to the other.
And it worked perfectly. They got a double play ball out of Granderson in the first inning of yesterday's game. And now it's 3-0. David Price behind. Two outs. Cano the runner at first. And Rodriguez takes it down. So the walk pushes Cano up to second and gets Teixeira to the plate. These pitches were pretty close.
Ball just off the plate. Maybe catches the corner, but does not get the call. And really, if you're going to get a pitch like that called for you because it is so borderline, you're going to have to establish the fact that you're in the zone consistently.
So here's Teixeira. Price trying to settle in here in his first inning of work. That's a strike on the outside edge. Fastball.
You know, the one thing that you forget is, yes, yesterday was opening day for the Rays, but this is David Price's opening day.
Yep.
Same with Hiroki Kuroda. I mean, these guys go out there, they're going to have the emotions. They're going to have to get under control early. The first start of the year, it's always a special time. You can see with David's velocity that he's amped up. Everything in the mid-90s.
And there's a good firm fastball at 96. Take a look at what he's doing with the fastball. 94 on the low side and 97 on the high side.
Yeah, that's not a bad low fastball right there. And it has been all fastballs. Both sides of the plate trying to establish that early and then build off that as the game goes on.
3-0-2. Strike three call. He dropped that one in there. Had a little cut. Might have been the slider at 92. strikeout of Teixeira by David Price. Looked like maybe a cut fastball.
It was. Everything that inning was fastball, the traditional four-seam fastball, and right there with 2 strikes, David Price comes with the cutter. Now, that pitch right there had more velocity than the cutter that he threw last year, and actually less cut action. Got Mark Teixeira to give up on it, and it just catches the outside corner. That is a perfect pitch, and it was set up by all those other fastballs. And Teixeira saw that out of the hand, said that ball's off the plate away. I'm going to take it. Couple inches, he gets the punch out.
Quick look at the Rays lineup. Desmond Jennings going to be at the top again, and Carlos Pena's up in the 2 spot in front of Evan Longoria. Matt Joyce, the cleanup hitter tonight, in front of Ben Zobrist and Luke Scott, the DH. Jeff Keppinger, Jose Lobaton, and Reed Brignac rounding out the Rays' starting lineup.
Taking the mound tonight for the New York Yankees, right-hander Hiroki Kuroda. You see the numbers last year with the Dodgers. Very good 3.07 earned run average.
Desmond goes after the first pitch and bounces it foul. So that's a strike.
Hiroki will throw the kitchen sink at you. He throws everything. He's got the fastball, the cutter, throws a split, both breaking balls, the curveball and the slider. And he will throw any pitch in any count. There's really no rhyme or reason to what he does. That's what makes him so effective.
And the pitch a little bit off the plate, and he has a little pause in his delivery that is so common to the pitchers who come over here from Japan.
A little bit of hesitation, and then he jumps at you. A little bit of deception that you can get.
Roller to short. Nunez bobbles it, and Jennings is aboard. So Nunez, who's in there at shortstop tonight with Jeter DHing. And that's an error charge to Nunez.
Well, this is as easy as it gets. I mean, an easy hop right there for Nunez. He just boxed it. Opening day for Eduardo, too.
Now the Rays have some speed at first, and Carlos Pena, power at the plate, as we saw here yesterday.
A lot of talk in spring training on what the Rays were going to do in the number 2 hole in the lineup. Carlos Pena's name was thrown in there. Of course, anybody not affiliated with the Rays wonders why, but you know, Joe Madden put together a lineup. He gets creative.
Yeah, Madden was talking about that almost as soon as camp opened.
Likes the fact that he, works at bats. May not have the highest average, but pretty good on base percentage guy.
You know, there's also an argument that you ought to put your best hitter second instead of even third.
Well, over the course of a season, they will get more at bats.
Yep. So Pena, who didn't put together great numbers in the spring, but we touched on it yesterday. Madden was saying the last week or so that he was very happy with the at-bats Pena was having coming out of spring training. I guess he is after the exhibition yesterday.
I'll tell you what, I was very impressed with Carlos Pena. Obviously, he had the great day. The numbers are awesome, but the approach is what impressed me. He got the mistake fastball. That's what he does. He hit the grand slam. But those 2 at-bats in the 8th and the 9th inning where he took a 3-1 fastball, let that thing travel deep, and grounded that ball the other way to take a base hit, and then cutting his swing down in the 9th to hit the game winner off Rivera, very impressive.
1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. So with the count now 2-0, Nunez, who was shaded toward the bag from his shortstop spot, now behind second and to the first base side of the bag a couple of steps. And the positioning changes with the count. Desmond backhand at first.
You remember when scouting reports were like, he's a high ball hitter, likes the ball in, middle in?
Yeah, and if he hits the ball the other way, or if he pulls the ball, you take a step and a half, maybe 2 steps in one direction or the other.
Right.
That was it.
And now you're moving guys according to count.
2-1.
Some good late tailing action on that fastball by Kuroda. Dive right underneath the bat of Carlos Pena, that swing. And that's what he will do. He moves that ball in and out to righties and lefties. Watch this dart. That's late.
Yeah, that looked pretty good. And then moved away from the left-handed bat of Pena. Foul ball evens the count, 2-2. Well, Kuroda was under 500 with the Dodgers last year, but an earned run average in the low threes. He made 32 starts, and boy, that's one thing that during his time with the Dodgers, he was a workhorse. He took his turn every time around. See 114 starts with the Dodgers, 41 and 46, and a 345 earned run average. He was a victim of low run support at times last year in the Los Angeles Dodger uniform. Paying a lot of attention to Jennings at first. Count has gone to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Back in. That hand extended this time.
Getting out there just a little bit further. Kuroda gave up 9 stolen bases last year, 9 out of 14 for opposing base runners. The Rays love to run. Desmond Jennings, tons of speed.
Kuroda holding the ball. Jennings is going to start, and then time called. Time given by Sam Holbrook.
Carlos Pena loves to feel comfortable in the box, and if he feels like he's standing up there in his stance a little bit too long, we've seen him ask for time quite a bit the years past when he was here.
Step back, so Jennings definitely on Kuroda's mind. Desmond was on 3 times in yesterday's game and scored twice. And the count's going to go full. Pitch dropped low. Kuroda, after Jennings reached on the error, has been very careful and deliberate in his approach to Carlos Pena. Count all the way out. Jennings with another lead. He's gone. And the pitch swung on and missed. The throw is not going to be in time. So Carlos out on strikes and a stolen base for Desmond Jennings. And the Rays steal their way into scoring position there.
Now here it is, a fastball by Kuroda is able to get it under the bat of Carlos Pena. Russell Martin on the throw there to second base. It was a good throw, but he had no chance. Good jump there by Desmond Jennings. Gets in easily.
So Evan Longoria has a chance to give the Rays an early lead. He was on base 5 times yesterday, including picking up a 3rd inning home run. And the pitch is a strike.
Well, this is the kind of situations last year that Kuroda was so very good at. You know, you look at his numbers. Nobody on base, 270 batting average, but as runners get on and get into scoring position, that average dips below 200. He really slows the game down, tests your patience.
Out around Evans' feet. A couple of fastballs. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Yankees known for long games, and in that regard Kuroda apparently fits right in. He's not in any hurry, so enjoy that easy chair. left side. This is Rodriguez making the throw as Jennings advances to third, rounded the bag, and stays right there.
Well, let's take a look at the New York Yankee defense as it lines up tonight. In the outfield, left to right, Andrew Jones, Curtis Granderson, and Nick Swisher across the infield, third to first, Alex Rodriguez, Eduardo Nunez, Robinson Cano, and Mark Teixeira. Russell Martin will be behind the plate. Tonight's Yankee defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
Now Matt Joyce will take a 2-out hit to give the Rays the early lead. Which is a curveball low. Joyce hit ninth in the game yesterday. Went 0 for 4. Hitting cleanup tonight. Two balls, no strikes. The only hitters in the Rays lineup to have faced Kuroda would be Pena last year when Carlos was with the Cubs, and Jeff Keppinger from his time in the National League. Most recently with Houston and San Francisco.
And I would venture a guess that more than a few of the Rays hitters were talking to those guys, and it's nice. One's a left-handed hitter, one's a right-handed hitter, about the action on his pitches.
Matt Joyce takes strike one.
You know, it's one thing to have a scouting report. I mean, this is what the guy throws. I run a little two-seamer, four-seamer, cut the ball a little bit, but you can actually go to a couple of guys and say, hey, what's it look like coming out of his hand? Is there anything that you can pick up? That kind of information can be invaluable when you've never faced a pitcher before, because it's not easy.
Two-one. Little number, third base side. It's going to roll foul and is picked up in foul territory by Rodriguez. Two and two the count. Kuroda with the Dodgers had a no trade clause, and they tried to get him to waive that, and he would not. And he felt his take on it is that he signed with that team and he wanted to finish the year with them. That's what he did, and then signed as a free agent with New York. There is ball three, down, blocked by Martin. He'll use that split, and that's in the upper 80s right there. He will try to use that as a strikeout pitch, and he went for it 2-2, and Joyce took it low all the way. So it's a full count. And that one just missed. A fastball did not come back enough, apparently. The Rays will have men at first and third.
Trying to freeze Joyce with the fastball in. You see the little flinch there by home plate umpire Sam Holbrook, but he's clearly telling Kuroda that ball was in.
Well, it's first and third for Ben Zobrist. You know, Ben had that big hit, the triple in the ninth inning off Rivera in yesterday's game, and he was really happy to get an at bat in the seventh inning against Soriano, because he hadn't had a left-handed at bat in about 5 days, and he got the left-handed at bat against Soriano in the seventh, and then the big hit from the left side off Mariano Rivera in the ninth inning of yesterday's game. He takes a strike here. There and a walk, first and third, 2 outs. One ball, one strike. played in that Futures game the Rays played here, but he hit against Matt Moore. That's not going to help your left-handed stroke. Probably not going to help your right-handed stroke either. A 1-1 count. One and two. Now he's down.
Bents over, sees the fastball, gets aggressive. Realizes that ball's up above the zone, but he had started the swing too late. Back after that high fastball right now and look out for that split below the zone.
And it's up. So he took that high fastball, and it's 2-2. Yeah, that's a lot of territory to be mindful of.
You get that swing, and you see the thought process right there by Kuroda. Hey, if he's going to swing at that, I'll take it maybe just a little bit higher, same place. Try to entice him into another swing if I don't get it. Now I come back with the split. After the third to first.
Yeah. Well, bottom of the first has not been long enough, so you've got to employ that at least once. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a good take there by Zobrist for ball 3.
Now he's getting a pretty good view of that fastball. He swung it one out of the zone, gets 2 more. Russell Martin wanted that pitch up again. That one missed. Get right back into the count.
5 hitters, 3 full counts now here in the first. Three, 2, and ball 4. So he stayed up and gives up a walk to load the bases.
Well, that looked like he was trying to throw a little backdoor cutter there.
Bases loaded for Luke Scott now.
Well, you know, you look at Kuroda and what he's doing out there. You can see what makes him effective when he's sharp with his pitches, because he's tough to follow. You know, you would have thought Ben Zobrist get the fastball up near his eyes if he doesn't chase it, then come back with that split, which is such a big strikeout pitch for him against left-handed hitters. He doesn't do that. He keeps coming with more and more fastballs and then tries to close them out with a backdoor cutter.
Now Luke Scott, the DH. And a liner into center. There's a base hit off the fastball. Jennings scores. Here comes another man in as Joyce crosses the plate, and the Rays lead 2-0. Luke Scott didn't waste any time. He jumped on the very first fastball and lines a base hit into center.
Now this fastball down in the zone, short, quick stroke right there by Luke Scott. Doesn't try to do too much, puts the barrel on the ball and rifles it into center field. Rays jump out early with a 2-0 lead.
So Luke Scott gives the Rays a 2-run advantage. Larry Rothschild, the New York pitching coach, goes out to spend some time with his starter Kuroda. Well, so far, adding Pena and Scott turning out to be exactly what the Rays hoped it would be. A little added run production in this lineup. And here's Keppinger. Keppinger, 4 out of 15 with 3 walks drawn in his career against Kuroda from his time over in the National League. Pitch is a strike. The Rays taking advantage of the error and a couple of walks. Scored 2 runs on a hit. Ground ball headed to short. Nunez backs up, and the throw to second in time for the force on Scott. The Rays settled for 2. Will go to the second. 2-0 Tampa Bay. Of Toyota vehicles. Toyota moving forward by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. Rays lead 2-0. New York coming in to hit in the top of the second inning. Curtis Granderson will lead off. Granderson, Jones, and Martin against David Price. And the first pitch. Fastball, and it misses. 1 ball, no strikes. One. Granderson 194 lifetime against David Price, but a couple home runs. There's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Which had a little movement to it. And a bouncer out to second to Keppinger. So Granderson is out of there, 4-3, 1 away, and we'll check in with Laura. Laura, how are you?
I'm doing great, Dwayne, and of course we're here to promote some more on Twitter, so make sure you follow us. It's at SunSportsRays. Now, Joe Madden is a cutting-edge kind of guy. He tweets, so that means you should too. And of course, he tweeted last night acknowledging that some fans were probably concerned about spring training for the Rays. He said, hey, this is the difference between the spring training and regular season game. He said yesterday had the intensity of a midseason game and gave credit to both teams. Dwayne?
All right. Well, he was right on. It did have great intensity. And a great game to begin the regular season on the heels of the final regular season game last year, 162. Andrew Jones up here with a 1-1 count. Two balls and a strike.
There's a ball there, but you like the velocity on that changeup. David Price throws that good changeup in the mid-80s. That's where you want it. He's got good arm action.
And he picks up a high strike on a fastball. 3-2.
That was a pitch last year where, take a look at the fastball right at the top of the zone.
3-2 cut and a foul ball. That went in at 96.
Well, he's got the big fastball, and when he uses that same arm action, I think a lot of times last year, especially early in the year, David Price with that changeup down in that 82 range, it's like he was throwing it thinking changeup. You've got to throw that pitch thinking fastball.
And he blows that one right by Jones. Jones could not catch up with that heat. 95, and that's strikeout number 2.
Perfect placement by David Price. Mid-90s fastball. You see still the big swing by Jones. And if you're going to take that huge hack and get long, you're going to get beat.
It's Russell Martin, the catcher. Fastball too high this time. 1-0. Martin with 18 home runs last year. 0 for 4 yesterday with the base on balls. And this one drops in there for a strike. That's not bad, that off-speed pitch.
No, that's
Changed on him.
Yeah, another good changeup, good arm action, good sign for David Price.
Two balls and a strike.
Love the fact that he's using that fastball in on these right-handed hitters. Early in the game, establish that inside corner, claim it as yours.
That's strike 2. Well, there's no question that last year was a frustrating season for David Price. He finished 12-13. Especially when you look at most of his numbers across the board. They were very good, and he strikes out Martin. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees. Bottom of the second coming. 2-0 Rays. Couple of strikeouts in the top half of this inning, and he's breaking out some new stuff. How about that? That was not a slider, was it?
No, it was not. You can see it right there. The finger, that was a spike curveball. Great rotation on it, late break, picks up the strikeout. We talked about David Price. Establish a fastball, both sides of the plate, check. Harder changeup, check. More consistent breaking ball. It's a pretty good one right there.
Jose Lobaton lifting a fly ball left center field. That's got some carry on it. Will fall in between Granderson and Jones. And Lobaton is in at second with a stand-up double. Jose Lobaton jumped on the first pitch. The Rays have another scoring opportunity with a two-base hit.
Now, the Rays are going up to the plate ready to hit, ready for anything. You see a mistake like that out over the plate, take advantage of it. Lobaton wasting no time. Good swing, good power the opposite way. Good start here in the second inning.
Well, the Rays are hoping that Lobaton can transfer what he's done at the AAA level to the Major League level. He played pretty well at Durham, both behind the plate and swinging the bat, and then struggled once he got up here. But he's won that backup job as the catcher here and figures to see quite a bit of playing time. Brignac lifting a ball into shallow right. Caught there by Swisher and no chance to move up for Lobaton. Let's check in with Todd.
Hey,
Todd?
Dwayne.
Yes, sir.
I've got Benji Molina with me. And Jose, of course, the catcher for the Rays. Benji, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just resting and spending time with my family.
So, after not playing for a year plus, are you officially retired now?
Yeah, I said it last year that I wasn't going to play anymore. So all I need to do now is just fill out the paperwork and we'll be done.
And now you get to come watch Jose. You can watch Yadier. When you guys, did you play any positions other than catcher when you guys were growing up?
Me, I did it. I played until I was 17. I played everywhere. I never caught in my life.
Okay.
And then 17, they gave me a catcher's glove. And he said, hey, let me see how you throw to second base. And I look at my dad, and my dad told me, hey, you seen your brothers all the time because they always been catchers. So, and then I threw to second. The guy liked me, and that's how I started.
When you see Jose, and obviously the Rays are leaning on him a lot this year, he's never had 300 at-bats in a season. How many games do you think your brother can catch for Tampa Bay?
To be honest with you, to be realistic, I think he can catch 120, 130.
Really?
With being fine. I hope he has a great season. I hope he come out swinging the bat well, helping the young kids pitch and all that. So I think he can catch 120, 130, but I know that's not what they want from him. I know they might want 190, maybe 80. So, and that's still good for him, you know.
With Benji Molina, now you've seen Hiroki Kuroda a few times when you're with the Giants. Did any of the guys in the clubhouse ask you for some information on him today?
Yeah, a couple guys did actually when I was there hanging out. They asked me, and I told them what I knew. You know, he has a little cut fastball. He likes to go in on righties. He has a slow hook that he doesn't use much. He has a split finger. And so I try to give him the scoop.
Thank you, Benji.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you. That's quite a story. The Molina family. A little tap foul off the bat of Jennings. Not only three brothers to make the major leagues, but three catchers and three all with World Series rings.
And a championship belt around his neck.
Hey, 120, 130 games. He believes in his brother.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
One and two the count to Desmond Jennings. Desmond, who reached on the error his first time and scored the first run of the game. Trying to add to the Rays' lead. He has Lobaton at second and one out. That's outside. That's pretty thorough scouting report all the way down to the slow hook that he doesn't throw very often.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And he doesn't throw it very often. When he does, it's usually first pitch. He rolls that thing in there because you're not looking for it because of his vast repertoire. He'll drop that thing in there for strike one.
3-2 is popped up. The infield converging on the mound, and it's Teixeira right on top of the mound. He had Alex Rodriguez bearing down on him, and Teixeira made the catch.
A little miscommunication there. That could have been disastrous for the Yankees.
And look at the infield converge on the mound.
Run to the ball, fellas. That's good football right there.
Two outs with the runner still at second. It's Carlos Pena. Carlos went to 3-2, and Corona struck him out on a fastball in the first inning. The pitch is down. He started him with a little breaking ball right there.
That's the curveball. I mean, you know that it's not a pitch that he goes to very often. You're thinking fastball, maybe the cutter, the split, all of these different options. So what's he do? A lot of times first pitch, roll it in there, get ahead of you, 0-1. Immediate advantage. Not this time.
He comes back. This is down with another curveball. 2-0. Ground ball headed into right field. A base hit. Robitone rounding third. He's headed home, and the Rays lead 3-0. Carlos Pena got one through the shift, through the infield, and into right to drive in the run.
Now, good placement by Carlos Pena. You see right here, Robinson Cano and Eduardo Nunez. A lot of space in there. That's exactly where he goes. Hustling around, 2 outs. He's going to score easily. Rays extend that lead.
Love to see those catchers run. There's Evan Longoria.
You may be the only one.
There's such great effort.
There is
in the idea.
There is good effort. I will give you that.
Yep. 1 ball, no strikes. They're running as hard as they can, trying to score from second, and he scored without a play. Longoria sends a fly ball back into center field. That's got some carry. Granderson back to the track, and he makes the catch. Longoria under that one a little bit, but a lot of carry. Rays settle for a run and lead 3-0. The aisles, but some facsimile.
Convulsing, maybe?
Yeah. Tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network. Broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea, watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome and salute each and every one of you. Eduardo Nunez takes the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Nunez hitting out of the nice spot. Jeter next, and then Swisher. Chop handled by Brignac. Nunez is out of there, short to first.
And that's what David Price wants to do. You're given a 3-run lead, go out, attack the zone early, get some quick outs. Got good athletes out there in the field, cover the ground, flash some leather, use it to your advantage.
And now it's going to be Derek Jeter. Jeter had the infield hit, got it through the infield between short and second. And the first. Pitch inside, 1-0. Well, we've seen a little variety of pitches from David Price. He started by loading up with the fastball in the first inning. There's a liner, going to be a base hit over Keppinger's head. And so Jeter is on for the second time.
Well, tonight's game is available in Espanol via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida.
Rays with 3 runs, 3 hits. The Yankees no runs, 2 hits. 1 on, 1 out in the third for Nick Swisher. Slow to Swisher. Swisher got ahead in the count in the first 3-1. It popped out to Keppinger. Skied one into shallow right. Keppinger had to go out to second base to make the catch. 2-0 the count right now. Liner into left field. Joyce is there to make the catch. Swisher got a 2-0 fastball and lined it to left. Joyce was there to catch it.
Now the first at bat, it was a 3-1 fastball that he got a little bit long in his swing and popped it up. This one stayed more compact, a better swing, better contact. Same result.
Two gone, and Robinson Cano steps in. There's a strike. Price 4-2 lifetime against New York, and has pitched well inside the American League East in his young career. 23-9 with a 292 earned run average in the tough AL East. Slow, and Lobaton keeps it in front of him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Winning in dramatic fashion yesterday, 7-6. They've taken a 3-0 lead tonight. Line drive going to be caught by Brignac at short. No runs, a hit. New York leaves 1. Bottom of the third coming. 3-0 Rays.
This one 3-0 so far as the Rays come to bat in the third inning. Stuart Sternberg, principal owner for the Rays, joins us. How about this game one into game? What kind of script writers do you have on this team?
We can get used to this. It's I know we finished last season. If we take the playoffs out of it, it's you can't believe it. Just can't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, game 162 was magical, and then Carlos's homecoming yesterday magical. What about the atmosphere you see here this week?
Luke Scott also starting off here today for us. Nice. We spend a little money, and we see it show. Here we go. Here we go.
Go ahead, call it.
Deep to right, it's gone.
Matt Joyce hits a home run. 4-0 Rays, leading off the bottom half of the third inning. Good timing here, Stu. You've got the crowd on their feet. When you see this atmosphere,
I come back to it. Yeah, what were you saying?
When you see this atmosphere, obviously, this is a nice little jump-off point for the season.
This was my dream when we took this team over, to build to the days when we would have it like this, night in and night out. The beauty about this one here, we had the Yankees in here yesterday, today, tomorrow. And you can tell we finally have a large majority of Rays fans here. Even when the Yankees came back, scored yesterday, we heard a lot of cheering, but nothing like we've heard in the past.
When you see overall the picture, the big picture, everybody thought conventionally that, you know, a team with a lower payroll, maybe a 2 or 3 year window, then you rebuild, then you come back for another 2 or 3 year window. This is now year 5. Have the Rays kind of changed the dynamic of people's expectations?
We didn't plan for a 5-year window or 6 years it is, but certainly where we are right now, you know, we think we've got some very blue skies ahead of us. Last year's draft was important to us with the number of picks we had, which will help us out in the future.
Zobrist flies out to center for the first out. That'll bring up Luke Scott. You mentioned the expectations, or I mentioned expectations. Are you surprised at the elevated expectations for the team? And do you like that, or do you rather play the underdog role?
We seem to do better as the underdog. The only time we really had expectations was 09, and it didn't turn out too well. 08, there was nothing really coming in, and, you know, we shocked the baseball world. After we felt a little flat in 09, 10 really weren't looked at. We had won the East. And then after losing all the players we did and all the stars coming back in 11, there was certainly no expectation last year. So we tend to do better the other way, but it's a small sample size. The other side to it, when we saw, I guess, early on Buster Olney, and back in January, December, picked us, we were all looking at it going, really? Is that what? Okay. Okay.
As Luke Scott bats here with the Rays, bases cleared, 1 out, a home run to start off the inning. I've got the schedule, the pocket schedule, which I know is a pride of yours. Nice design again this year. And when you look at it, Stu, after this homestand, yeah, you got yours. Detroit, Boston, Toronto on the road. Home for Minnesota and the Angels. Into Texas, 2-time defending AL champions. Where would you like to see this team ideally at the end of April? What would be a decent month?
Quite frankly, you come into it, and I would say a game or two over 500 would have been great. You win one, and you start to get greedy. The interesting part of the schedule, we've got all day games now. I think the next 8 are day games. After this is the only night game of the first 10, so it's going to be interesting. A little different. Whoa, right through the box. Very nice.
Luke Scott, 2 for 2. Money well spent so far.
It's about 50 pitches. Yeah. We're amortizing all the $14 million between Carlos and him and Keppinger now, right?
Yeah, so a game or two over 500 originally was your thought.
Yeah, well, again, as all of us, we start to get a little greedy. How many would you bank? But we try to look at it in bites, sometimes in months. And it really is, in theory, our toughest month. But last year, our toughest month was September, and we had a September for the ages.
And an ages, it really was. 9 games out, September 3rd. And when the fans look to more magical moments in the future, when you look at new stadiums after the Tropicana Field time is over, all your options right now, are they in Tampa Bay?
Well, hold on, that's not good. The only option we have, the only thing we're thinking about is Tampa Bay. I've never indicated otherwise, and I've confirmed that before. And we're not looking anywhere, quite frankly, right now. But if it is, we'd like to look around Tampa Bay, as the ABC reported, put out, and that's our hope and goal.
Thanks, Stu.
Thank you.
All right, Rays lead 4-0 heading to the 4th.
They have built a 4-0 lead. David Price against Hiroki Kuroda. Second game of this 3-game series. Kick in from the right field line, and David Price prepares to face Alex Rodriguez to begin the fourth. Rays with 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. And Joyce jumped on a breaking ball, then hit it out to right to give the Rays their 4th run. And Alex Rodriguez takes a breaking ball for a strike here in the 4th. And a fastball runs in on it.
You go back to that Joyce home run the previous inning. It's a lot of good watching of the game going on in that dugout. What Hiroki Kuroda is doing, going out there throwing a lot of first pitch breaking balls.
Right back over the mound, but back is second. Keppinger makes the pickup and the throw, and A-Rod is out of there.
Well, you know, we've talked about that. Doesn't throw the curveball a lot, has been throwing it quite a bit, especially to the left-handed hitters, just to get ahead. So Matt Joyce, watching that pattern from the bench, he goes up there. Probably not looking for the curveball, but hey, if he wants to throw me one that hangs, I'm going to take advantage of it. Here it is. Little get me over, 0-1 curveball. See you later.
Well, we saw him in the second inning start Pena with 2 breaking balls. And Joyce paying attention.
And that's what you'll see too. I mean, guys do that anyway, but especially when you haven't faced a pitcher before, everybody in that dugout, all those hitters, even the guys that aren't playing, in case they are thrown into the game in some capacity, they're sitting there watching. Is there any pattern we can pick up on?
And they got the scouting report from Benji Molina too. So there you are.
Everybody wins.
1-1 the count to Teixeira. Mark Teixeira looking in the first inning and lifts a high fly ball into center. A lot of room out there for Desmond Jones. 2 on, 2 up, 2 down. Time now for the AT&T trivia question. Carlos Pena's walk-off single was the 3rd time in franchise history the Rays have won on opening day in walk-off fashion. The player has the other 2 walk-off wins. Those are just opening day, home or road. Just opening day period. There's Curtis Granderson. Upstairs. The ball and no strikes to Granderson. But inside, 2-0. We heard Stu Sternberg talking about the Rays schedule in that conversation he had with Todd. Kind of interesting to look around and see the schedules that some of these teams have. A line shot headed toward the right field corner, cut off by Zobrist, and he's going to hold Granderson to a single. Nice job by Ben Zobrist. You know, Zobrist splits time between right field and second base. Not a lot of guys do that, and he really does a great job at both positions. He's really a good right fielder.
Yes, very versatile, and you're right, Dwayne. I love him out in right field, and he got on his horse in a hurry here. This had double written all over it, but nice hustle, the high bounce, turn, quick throw, accurate. Right to Keppinger, the cutoff man. He keeps Granderson over there at first.
And here's Andrew Jones. This ball is high. The Rays beginning the season with this 3-game homestand. New York on a 6-game trip. They'll go to Baltimore after the conclusion of this series, and the Rays hit the road for 10. 2-0. So it will be a test early for the Rays. They go to Detroit, then Boston, then Toronto. And the Tigers had their way with the Red Sox in Detroit today, 10-0. Fielder hit 2, Cabrera hit 2, Avila hit 1. 2-1. They beat Josh Beckett.
That Tiger lineup very formidable. You're talking about with Cabrera and Fielder, maybe the top right left-handed hitting combo, power combo in Major League Baseball. And boy, did they flex their muscles today.
Oh, big cut right there. And the fastball is fouled back. That fastball at 96, and Jones likes it up. In fact, he chased that high fastball the first time.
He did, but this one right here comes on the heels of a mid-80s changeup. You slow the bat down just a little bit, then you rush that big fastball. He doesn't quite catch up to it. Yeah, now he's saying to himself, now what? That was my pitch.
Count goes to 2-2. Toronto won again. Cleveland and the Blue Jays in extra innings again. And Toronto won that game 7-4. Tonight's Rays game is presented in high definition, brought to you by H.H. Gregg. The Blue Jays had a very solid spring. They've won the first 2 games to begin the regular season. And down to second goes Granderson. I got the feeling all spring about that Toronto club. They just won, it seemed, every day. And they did the best they could just to keep everything quiet.
You didn't hear hardly anything about them. You really didn't. And you're right, Dwayne. They went 23-7 in spring training.
They could be really good.
Yes, they could. And they've got Brandon Morrow, Ricky Romero there at the top of the rotation. Some good young position players. Brett Laurie, Colby Rasmus, and of course Jose Bautista.
3-2 lined in the left. That's going to score the run. Granderson, who moved to second on a wild pitch, scores on a base hit by Jones. And now it's 4-1. Jones hit an off-speed pitch, lined it into left.
Now all that work to keep Granderson at first base. He's able to move up on a ball in the dirt, and then right here Andrew Jones able to get that swing out and around that offering by David Price, get it out into left field and trim this lead.
So the Yankees are on the board, and their catcher Russell Martin is the hitter.
Boy, that's what hurt David Price last year. Runners in scoring position, especially with 2 out.
Yeah, as good as all the other numbers were, that was a troubling number, along with the wins and losses.
Yeah. And how many times that happened late in games.
Yeah.
You know, and close games. David Price was involved in a lot of close games.
And you know, he did not get a lot of runs aboard. In fact, in 11 of his 13 losses, the Rays scored 2 or fewer runs.
Yeah, he didn't have a whole lot of margin for error.
So he's got 4 runs tonight. That was a major luxury for him last year. And the first pitch to Martin. He takes for a strike, a fastball. Yankees now have 4 hits, 2 singles, and a wild pitch here with 2 outs. And the Yankees are on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike. Martin had to move quickly to get his feet out of the way of that pitch. And that sometimes is as unsettling as a pitch up and tight. First and up the right field line. Jones heads to third. Well, now the Yankees have a man at third with 2 gone.
Now this is good right here. The Rays infield coming in, and Jim Hickey coming out to just calm David Price down. Jose Lobaton trying to take advantage right there, throwing that ball. Carlos Pena not even looking for it. See him kind of hesitate. Doesn't look. The no-look throw. Even if Carlos would have been looking, that was going to be a tough throw to handle that ball up the right field line.
Lobaton tried to pick off the runner, and he picked off his first baseman.
Well, I mean, he actually took the time to catch the pitch and then tell David Price, hey, let's get this thing down. The little motion with the glove, and then almost a no-look throw. You throw him right over to third base. Can be very frustrating for a pitcher to see that happen. So a good visit there by Jim Hickey just to get David Price back and focused on the task at hand. Get the hitter, get out of the inning.
So the Rays charged with their first error of the night. The error on Lobaton. Pitch to Martin is down. 3-1, a breaking ball. Yeah, the Rays would really love to see Price get Martin and put this inning behind them. It's a good pitch, 3-1.
How about that?
Change it up on it.
Yes, you're expecting Russell Martin, David Price, 3-1. He's coming with the heat. Great changeup here. How far out in front?
Full count. And he misses down. And that'll put men at first and third. 3-2 breaking ball. So it's first and third with 2 outs. 4-1 the score. And Eduardo Nunez, the shortstop, will step in. Pitch is high. First pitch, a fastball, 1-0. That's in there. Another fastball, 1-1. Nunez came into the game 2 out of 10 lifetime against Price. He grounded to the shortstop Renyak his first time and lines it into left center this time. Cut off by Jennings. Throw back to second. Jones scores to make it 4-2. Martin winds up at third on the RBI single by Nunez.
The Yankees continue to chip away, and now the top of the order rolls back around. Eduardo Nunez, a nice job on that pitch coming into him. See how he pulled the hands in close to the body to get the barrel to the baseball. Good piece of hitting. They cut the lead in half. David Price has got to make a pitch here.
And Price, the longest inning of the night here in the fourth. It's up to 24 pitches in this inning. And now he faces the top of the order, Derek Jeter. Jeter's 2 for 2 tonight. Gets the back foot out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes.
First 2 at-bats, Derek Jeter had up-the-middle approach off of David Price, the fastball and the changeup. So David now, this third time through, is trying to crowd him a little bit with the big fastball. Try not to let him get his arms extended.
And Jeter takes ball 2, a fastball. 2-1. This after the first 2 men had been retired. 2-2 on the foul ball.
4 straight heaters in.
Anderson and Jones have scored the run. The error has helped. There goes a runner off first and a liner off the glove. Price picks it up and makes the throw to first to retire the side. David lost his glove but retrieved the baseball to retire the Yankees in the fourth. 2-run score on 3 hits, an error, a wild pitch, and 2 left. 4-2 Rays. Our AT&T trivia question. Carlos Pena's walk-off single, the 3rd time in Rays history they won on opening day in a walk-off. What player has the other 2 walk-off wins? It would be Carl Crawford. Back in 03, forward off Chad Fox to beat the Red Sox. And then against the Orioles in 2010 against the left-hander Michael Gonzalez. That's the answer to our AT&T trivia question. Jose Lobaton is going to lead off the bottom of the 4th. It's outside. Lobaton, then Brignac and Jennings. Rays see the Yankees cut the lead in half, and now Lobaton lifts a high fly ball to right. Swisher back, not yet on the track, and he makes the catch. So Lobaton, who doubled and scored in the 2nd, lifts the fly ball to right. Reed Brignac. You know, we're talking about the early schedules, and the Red Sox, who were soundly beaten by the Tigers, they're 0-2. And they have 12 of their first 15 games against postseason teams from a year ago, including the Rays and the Rangers and the Yankees. The Tigers, on the other hand, loaded. And they opened with 19 of 25 at home. Brignac, and Reed takes a strike. The Rays will head to Detroit. Strike the count to Brignac. 2. The Angels, who figure to be very good again. They have Kansas City and Minnesota. They will play the Yankees, and they have Oakland and Baltimore early. Brignac sends a fly ball to center, and Granderson makes the catch. 2 gone.
Well, in tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
This Yankee team, as we mentioned, they'll go to Baltimore from here. They have the Rays and the Orioles, and then the Angels, and then they'll take on the Twins. 1 ball, no strikes.
I can't believe
Texas. They'll have the White Sox and the Mariners and the Twins, so they're looking to get off to a quick start in the West as they battle the Angels out there. And then the Blue Jays, with the Indians and Red Sox, they play the Orioles 6 times early.
Bro,
and they have the Mariners and the Royals.
I want him to sign my scorebook.
2 balls and a strike to count.
Silver shirt.
So the Rays have the one of the tougher schedules early. 2-2 the count here to Desmond Jennings.
Get it out of the way. A bit easier down the road then.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you approached your academic career.
You know what?
Get all those hard subjects out of the way, get the tough homework done early, then you can relax.
Something like that.
2-2. Lifted foul up the right side. Out of play. I know you wanted to set the proper example, as you always do. 2-2 the count to Desmond Jennings. He's out on strikes. So the Rays are up and down 1-2-3. We go to the 5th, 4-2 Tampa Bay. Time for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. The Rays over the last 4 years, 3 times to the postseason, to the World Series in 08 after a 97-win season, and then the last 2 finishing first and the wild card. You can count on Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Long 4th inning for David Price. He made 29 pitches, 75 through 4. And Nick Swisher, been a tough out for him during his career. 0 for 2 tonight. The pitch is down. He did hit the ball hard in the 3rd inning on a line drive to left, and Matt Joyce is there to catch it. 2-0. Robinson Cano next, and then Alex Rodriguez. 3-0 count. Talking about the Angels, they'll be tough again. They were beaten at home today by Kansas City 6-3, and on 4 pitches Swisher draws the walk. Third walk given up by David Price. Now Robinson Cano will bat. That line drive for Cano in the 3rd inning was hit to Brenyak at short. Ground ball, second base, Keppinger. Brenyak 1. First base to Pena 2. 4-6-3 on that double play. Taylor made. So that takes care of the leadoff walk.
Yeah, you see David Price fired up. Race that 4-pitch walk with a quick double play. Keppinger, nice feed right here. Brenyak coming right across the bag. Plenty of time to set his feet and finish it off.
So the bases are empty with 2 outs. And with Alex Rodriguez up here, Keppinger is on the shortstop side of second base. Pena, the lone man, on the right side of the infield. It's pretty close right there. A ball, says Sam Holbrook. 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Two and two, and a nice pitch. Well, he's used that changeup 2 or 3 times tonight, behind in the count.
Yeah, boy, that is a good sign. The maturity of David Price continuing to evolve as a pitcher.
Two, and a foul straight back out of play.
You see once again, he threw one to Andrew Jones, really slowed down his bat, and was able to get 96 up where Andrew likes it. Fouled it off, wasn't able to catch up to it, and right there after the swing and miss at a changeup, a fastball in, and you saw that ball ate up Alex Rodriguez.
Ooh, he tried to find the corner on that one, and it stayed just off the plate.
Trying to go for that same backdoor cut fastball that he got Mark Teixeira on in the first. This one just stays off.
So the count is full. Swing and a miss. He's out of there. So Rodriguez out on strikes. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 Tampa Bay.
Rays fans will never forget watching Evan Longoria rounding the bases with arms raised after slugging the Rays into the postseason last year. On Saturday, April 21st, the first 10,000 fans will receive an Evan Longoria walk-off figurine presented by Sweet Bay Supermarket. To purchase tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com.
Here we go into the home half of the fifth. Carlos Pena waves and misses at the first pitch. Strike. Pena singled home a run in the second inning after the big day yesterday. Carlos now with 6 runs batted in on the year. One and one. More of a hesitation in the delivery that time by Corona. He got the swing and a miss. 1-2. Count even. Rays scored 2 runs in the first. Luke Scott's base hit drove in Jennings and Joyce. Pena singled home Lobaton in the second. Joyce hit a home run in the third. And the count is full to Pena. That's another sign with Pena. He is going good at the plate. We'll see a lot of pitches. He has the second full count tonight. And he takes this one down. So he's on. Breaking pitch low.
Well, for all the latest updates on your Tampa Bay Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse, we bring you the in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com, powered by the Tampa Bay Times.
Now Evan Longoria. Inside. 1-0 the count. One ball, no strikes. It's on the outside corner, 1-1. Pitch is wide. 2-1. The Rays have had the leadoff man on base in 4 of the first 5. Pena's drawn a walk here in the 5th. Ground ball to short. Nunez to Cano for 1 and over to first. And Longoria grounds into a double play. The Yankees drew the walk in the top of the 5th. Promptly hit into a double play. The Rays draw the walk in the bottom of the inning. And the double play ball erases Pena. And the bases will be empty with 2 outs for Matt Joyce. Joyce has walked and homered, scoring 2 runs tonight. He got a breaking ball on the first pitch his last time up, and he hit it out to right. He takes the pitch low this time. 2-0. Here's that home run by Matt Joyce. Just grooved one there. Hung the breaking ball out there over the plate. It's 2-1.
Well, a lot of time that's what you'll do, especially throwing it early in the count. You're throwing it just to get ahead of the guy. You'll have that good snap on it sometimes. It rolls up there. Pay for it.
Ground ball right to Cano, who's shaded to his left. So Joyce is out of there, and we're through 5. Tampa Bay 4, New York 2. Chasing home Jennings and Joyce to make it 2-0. Picked up another run in the second. Carlos Pena singled home Jose Lobaton. Matt Joyce jumped on the first pitch in the bottom of the third. Hit it out. The Yankees scored on Jones' base hit, and then Nunez with an RBI single. Came in the fourth. Made it 4-2. Here we go to the sixth. Teixeira leads it off, hits it deep in the hole. It's short. Brignac's throw right there on the money. He threw it over the genuflecting Evan Longoria.
Well, and that was a nice play there by Reed Brignac. Mark Teixeira out in front on the changeup. Brignac did a nice job of getting around that baseball, allowed him to set his feet a little bit quicker and make a strong throw. The Rays can play defense. We talked about the shift, which we're about to see right now. They're moving infielders around. They're very fleet of foot. Good hands.
Curtis Granderson. And a strike. Well, it was a good play by Brignac, and look at Longoria. You know, Longoria's been into yoga for a long time, and that was young child wrestling right there. So it came in handy.
That's a move. Young child wrestling.
2-0 the count. 2 strikes. Yep. Well, he was jammed there. One hop to Longoria and a quick throw to first, and Granderson is out of there. 2-0. Andrew Jones. Jones singled in a run and scored a run in the fourth. This team now with 5 hits. And the pitch to Jones is a strike. Breaking ball. It's 1-1. David Price facing the New York Yankees. Well, there's a lot of great baseball coming your way this year. The American League East is as tough as ever. Jones over that pitch. Blows something off the curveball.
Better curveball than the one he let him off with. This one, better break. You see he takes it right to the inside corner, down.
Tap foul. Price done a pretty good job with his pitches and the game plan tonight.
Yes, he has. He went a lot of fastballs early to establish that, then started to sprinkle in the changeup, curveball.
High fly ball back into left. Joyce will go to the wall. He's looking for it. Now finds it and makes the catch. Jones lifted a fastball and hit it a long way. But Joyce had just enough room in front of the wall. Once he located it, he put it away. 4-2 Rays.
Uncle on the dancing. Mosaic Company and the Rays are working together to end hunger through home runs for food. With each Rays home run, Mosaic donates $500 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. So far, $1,500 has been donated.
On to the home half of the sixth inning. Kuroda back to the mound for New York. The Rays will have Ben Zobrist leading off, then Luke Scott and Jeff Keppinger do. Rays did all of their scoring in the first 3 innings so far tonight. Zobrist walked his first time. And fly ball to center in the third. 1 strike to count. Kuroda starting Zobrist with a fastball, but as you pointed out early tonight, he's likely to throw any pitch at any time and start you off with any one of a variety of pitches. There's a liner headed toward the corner. Down into right. Extra bases for Zobrist, who turned on the fastball and has himself a 2-base hit. So Zobrist is in scoring position to start the inning. Right now, let's go to Todd Callis. Todd.
Dwayne, we have somebody who we're very familiar with here. Remember Shannon McGrain? When she was just
yes, we do.
This tall? Well, now she's taller than me.
I know. I've grown so much. I think I got it from my dad's side of the family.
First of all, it's great to see you again, Shannon.
It's so good to be back here, and it feels so good to be back home.
You were home here at Tropicana Field where your dad used to be up in the broadcast booth, Joe, and today you got to sing the anthem. You've done that before here. But what's the transition been like? American Idol, you're in USA Today article, you're on Anderson Cooper, Good Morning America, and now coming back to your life.
I know, it's hard to think of it, at American Idol. It's like all these secret things, we're going back in secret cars and secret ways to get into the hotel room.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
Luke Scott short hops the wall with a line drive. An extra base hit. He's in at second of the double, and that's going to score Ben Zobrist. And the Rays add a run to make it 5-2. Luke Scott 3 for 3 now on the night, with 3 runs batted in, and here's another look.
Well, the Rays jumping out early here, quick in the 6th inning. Ben Zobrist with a double, another ball down in the zone. Luke Scott with that short, quick swing. Drives that ball out to the wall in right field. Zobrist scores easily, and Rays still with the threat here, nobody out.
Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, heads to the mound. Todd, let's go back to you with Shannon, and we want to know what's next for Shannon.
Yeah, that's a good question. Dwayne wants to know what's next for you. You can wave to Dwayne, by the way, and Brian.
Hi, Mr. Dwayne. I missed coming up in the booth with you guys.
All right, what's next?
Well, I have school in some type of way, but I have lots of doors have opened for me. I'm singing the national anthem at the Cardinals game next, at my dad's stomping ground. So I'm hoping to go back there, and I was born and raised in St. Louis, so I'm really excited about that. And also I'm singing at a charity, I have a charity show at Quantum Leap Farms on the 14th of April, and I'm really excited about that as well. It's the day after I sing the Cardinals game, so I have lots of good songs to sing, and I'm really pumped, and I'm so excited.
Now, of course, we recognize you because you've been around the stadium so much. Are people recognizing you now on a regular basis when you go around Tropicana Field?
Yeah, it's crazy knowing that there's people out there rooting for me. I was at the mall the other day, and people were like, oh my God, are you Shannon McGrain? Can we take a picture with you? And I get so excited, and I feel so honored and so blessed and grateful to know that there's people who are watching me and following me and supporting me in everything I do.
Well, Shannon, knowing you for as long as we have, we are so proud of you. Congratulations on your incredible run.
Thank you. It feels great to be back home here in the Tampa Bay area.
All right, guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. She was so poised and so talented, from a talented family. Her younger sister, Sophia, a very talented and great young lady herself. We think that they both get their talent from their mother, Renee, and their charm from their father, Joe. Ground ball right side, and Keppinger's out. Cadeau to Teixeira. Luke Scott goes over to third base. I will say this. Joe McGrain could sing a mean George Jones. I don't know if that helped Shannon, but he does have that somewhere in his.
I've never been
his
a party to that.
Yeah, well, he's pretty good there. But Shannon was just great, and she made Tampa Bay proud.
Yes, she did.
She was very good in that competition. We think the best, and just so poised and just a great future we know ahead. Here is Lobaton. Jose Lobaton. Ray's trying to pick up another run, and the Yankees have that infield in a bit. 1 ball, no strikes. Rays now lead 5-2. Back-to-back doubles by Zobrist and Scott, leading to the latest run. Lobaton, a little piece of it foul, and the count is 1-1. There is action in the New York bullpen. The left-hander player Rapata is up. Right-hander Wade. One, and a broken bat pop-up. Cano makes the catch. 2 away.
Boy, Kuroda made a nice pitch there and got the outcome that he wanted. Trying to get that ball in on Lobaton. Got the jam, little pop-up. close to getting out of this inning.
Well, let's see what Reed Brignac can do. A couple of at-bats tonight. A high fly ball to right his first time and line to center in the 4th inning. Takes a pitch inside, a fastball. Rays at one time led by 4. That lead now is 3.
Reed Brignac, that first at-bat, that high fly ball that he hit, upset with himself because he got a pitch that he could handle, missed it. Last one he hit the ball hard. Kuroda working him down in the zone. Reed Brignac, low ball hitter.
Two balls, no strikes, fastball away.
You could see right there where Russell Martin put the target. He was telling Kuroda, you're going to come in here. I want that ball a little bit of elevation to it because of the fact that Brignac will drop the head.
Two and one. Scott at third. Brignac fouls it the other way. Fastball taken out of play. Well, the Rays have reached 5 runs tonight, and going back into last year, the Rays have won 31 consecutive games if they score as many as 5 runs, 5 or more. And that speaks to how good the pitching and defense has been night in and night out. Broken bat, ground ball foul. The bat wound up over the top of Kuroda's head. He had to duck at the last minute to get out of the way. Look at this thing. Brignac's bat broke in half and helicoptered, and it was some low flying over the mound. Steve Donahue out to check with the Yankee right-hander.
There it is. Ball in. Look at that. I mean, that is dangerous. We talk about it all last year, the year before. One of these things is going to helicopter out there and impale a guy. We saw David Price last year take one right off the top of the head.
Is the study now complete?
Well, no, but that bat will be added to it.
I see.
Continuing the study. Ongoing.
So Brignac back in there with a new bat. And down around his feet. So Brignac goes down. Count is full. Big cut, the foul ball, and Jennings has to get out of the way. Boy, these last 3 pitches, everybody's ducking. The pitcher and the hitter and the on-deck man.
Head on a swivel.
Brignac trying to get Scott home from third with 2 outs. Walks. So Brignac heads to first. That's going to get the top of the batting order. Desmond Jennings up there. Kuroda over 90 pitches here in the 6th inning. Desmond takes it a little bit wide. Jennings looking for his first hit. He reached on an error in the first, stole a base, and scored a run. One ball, one strike. Led throughout the evening. And a ground ball right side, going to slip through. Base hit to right. Scott scores. Granyak digs for third. He's in there safely, and the Rays have their 6th run of the night, and again lead by 4. It's 6-2. Jennings hit on the ground, and it found its way through into right for an RBI.
Yeah, and with Reed Brignac on first, Mark Teixeira's having to hold him on. There was a big hole on the right side, set up perfectly for this off-speed pitch. Desmond Jennings lets that ball get deep. Just plays Pepper with the right side, shoots it out into right field. Nice piece of hitting.
Joe Girardi comes out to make the pitching change. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all. Burger King. From Tropicana Field tonight, the Rays lead now 6-2. The Yankees have made a pitching change. Left-hander Clay Rapata in the game. Kuroda gone after 5 2/3. Carlos Pena takes the first pitch, and a fastball misses. Rapata in with that fastball at 87.
See Rapata's numbers from last season. He is tough on lefties. Just 5 out of 48. 104 average.
And now Jennings breaking. He's caught in a rundown, and Jennings moves into second, throw back to third, and they're going to get Brignac. Well, Jennings took off, and the throw down had him caught, but with a look toward the runner at third. Jennings had an opening for second, but Brignac, with just a hesitation, is out trying to get back to third. 6-2 Yankees. Plan a bright financial future today. SagacoreLifeUSA.com. And by your local Southern Ford dealers. 6-2. Yankees coming in to hit with the Rays leading. The catcher Russell Martin leads off for New York. 1 ball, no strikes. 6-8-1 for the Rays. 2-5-1 for the Yankees. David Price out there on the hill. Kuroda pitched 5 2/3. Gave up 6 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits. He walked 4, struck out 2. Matt Joyce hit a home run off him. And now there's a ball. 3-0 the count to Martin. David Price on the verge of making his 100th pitch, and it's a strike. David has given up 2 runs, 5 hits. 4 strikeouts on the night. And he walks Martin. So leadoff walk. He walked Swisher in the 5th and promptly got a double play ball.
Well, fans experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive newly named Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features an upscale full menu buffet and inclusive drink options. For tickets and more information, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
Nunez pitches a strike. McGee, the lefty. Badenhop, the right-hander, is he in the bullpen. One. Nunez hits it a long way down the left field side. It's a foul ball. Nunez, who singled in a run with a line drive into left center in the 4th, pulled that one foul.
That off-speed pitch moving in towards Nunez. Once again, quick with the hands. A little bit too quick.
Fouled up the right field side, out of play this time. Middle game of the series, the Rays and the Yankees tomorrow. With the final game of the series and the final game of this quick homestand for the Rays to start the season. It's going to be a foul ball. Good contact with Nunez while he was still in the batter's box. Jeremy Hellickson will pitch tomorrow for the Rays against Phil Hughes. Nobody out. Martin aboard. Cut and a miss. Nunez out on strikes and a breaking pitch.
Nunez saw just about everything in this at-bat. Change-up, backdoor cutter, and that good curveball right there to finish him off.
So Nunez out on strikes, the first out here in the 7th. Joe Madden out of the Rays dugout with an eye toward the bullpen. Price will get a good hand. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all. is the new pitcher. On to face Derek Jeter as the Yankees start the 4th time through the lineup. And a ground ball to short, charged by Brignac. Out at second, quick throw to first. 6-4-3 on the double play. Well, Badenoff was in the game yesterday, made one pitch. And Longoria made an error on that one. Comes in to make one pitch here in the 7th tonight. Throws a 6-4-3 double play ball. 6-2 Rays.
Yankees 6-2, and this is just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Enjoy. Well, how about this right here? Sean Rodriguez coming in for defense. That was going to be a tough turn. The quick flip by Brignac. Boy, he will stand in there, take the hit, made an accurate throw.
There's Pena leading off the bottom of the 7th against the lefty Rapata and fouling away the first one. That's absolutely standard fare for Sean Rodriguez. Turning the double play at second base, standing his ground.
Well, and that ball wasn't hit that hard. And so the runner's bearing down. Rodriguez knows he's going to get flipped. He's fearless out there.
1-1 to count. Sean Rodriguez, he doesn't mind the contact. In fact, he said recently that one of the biggest thrills he's had playing the game was that collision he had with Napoli in the postseason. He said because they were friends when they were with the Angels, so no harm, no foul, it's just good clean fun. There's a strike.
Good clean fun getting plowed by Mike Napoli. Perfect. See, that's what guys who don't have it all going on upstairs, that's the things they say.
They like it.
They like it. He says it, it lets me know I'm in the game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm out here to do. I don't mind getting flipped at second base. He stands his ground, and that's why Joe Madden goes to him late, defensive replacement.
Breaking ball, sliding outside. It's 3-2. And ball 4. Pena's on for the 3rd time tonight.
Well, the Yankees are in town, and the Rays have the cure. More cowbell. This Sunday, the first 10,000 kids 14 and under will receive a Raymond cowbell presented by Chick-fil-A as part of Family Fun Days presented by the Tampa Bay Times. To purchase your seats, call 888-FAN-RAISE or visit RaiseBaseball.com. Can always use more cowbell.
Available tomorrow. It's Longoria. Evan lifts a fly ball toward the right field corner. Switcher's going to run out of room. That's going to be a home run. Switcher went to the wall. Andy Fletcher, the first base umpire, running down the right field line, calls it a home run as Longoria goes to the opposite field. Switcher trying to get interference on the part of a fan he claims was reaching over. But Longoria has hit a 2-run home run, and the Rays take an 8-2 lead.
Now let's take a look at it. Evan, good, strong, powerful swing. Gets that backspin. Good carry on this ball. And here you go.
I think it might be hard to...
Oh, I think they might have a beef there. That glove, you can see as the ball goes into the glove, it comes down over the top of that wall. Be an interesting call here.
So they're going to go take a look.
Well, you don't like that glove. That the glove reaches out, and as the ball goes in, that glove crosses, where you can see it crosses right in front of the yellow stripe there on top of the wall. That may not bode well for the Rays.
There apparently is a battle going on within that gentleman for loyalty, dressed in both Rays and Yankees garb. And here's a look. Well, he makes contact right there. Now momentum carries it down and makes it appear that it's in play. But when he made contact with it, that ball might have been gone. But see, then, and
that's going to be the tough one.
That's a two-dimensional view right there. You want to get the shot down the line of the wall to see. So it's going to be interesting as the umpires get together on a replay here.
Inconclusive.
Yeah.
Inconclusive. You go with the ruling on the field.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I think if they look at the shot down the line, that is the line of the wall as it extends up, it might be inconclusive. The other one, looking square on, would lead you to believe that it might not have been a home run, but there's a momentum factor there, and the fact that it's only a two-dimensional viewing. Even in 3D, it's not truly 3D. It's an illusion. So we're going to see which one holds the most credence here as they review this. At the moment, the Rays have an 8-2 lead as Evan Longoria, who homered in the third inning of the game yesterday, makes a bid for a home run in the seventh inning here tonight. Let's check in with Todd Callis. Todd?
Dwayne, the other interesting angle on this is if they rule it was interference by the fan, then it is an umpire's judgment as to whether the ball would be caught or what would have happened had the fan not interfered. So here's the other angle. Go ahead, guys.
Well, Joe West, who's the crew chief, has just gone back out onto the field, and he wants to talk with Joe Madden. And so let's see what they wind up doing. Longoria's back out on the field, and he's headed to second. And Pena's headed over to third. So it's going to be a double for Longoria. Let's take another look, and here's the one that really determines.
That is awfully close.
You know, you could still argue that if he doesn't make the catch, that ball might have made it over that top wall, but it's going to be a double. second and third. It's still 6-2, and here's Matt Joyce. And a snap throw down to third. And there's where Pena was at the time. He stopped to take a look.
And that's why he was only awarded third base.
You know, to the umpire's credit, that's maybe the tougher part of that call.
Oh, yeah.
Placing the runners.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Easy for right. Longoria, but Pena, what do you do with him?
Yep. A little popper into short left. That's going to fall. Pena scores. Longoria's going to score. And the Rays get those 2 runs. Now it's 8-2. Joyce hit one harder back in the third. He got only 1 run for that. He looped this one into short left and produces 2 runs with this one.
Well, sometimes it's about placement. And that one well placed. Another good read by Evan Longoria. He knows that this ball is out in no man's land. This ball jams Joyce right off the label. Kind of gorfs it out there, but Evan Longoria with another great read, and he is motoring.
Ben Zobrist takes it down and in. So Pena and Longoria have scored. Joyce with 3 runs batted in and 2 runs scored tonight out of the cleanup spot. Counts 1-1. Opened the bottom of the 6th inning with a double and scored a run. Rays now have 10 hits and 8 runs. 1-2. Six runs charged to Kuroda, 2 here in this inning to Rapada. A tapper foul handled by Tom Foley. Josh Lukey busy in the bullpen.
He was left out of yesterday's game. Last man standing. Put me in, coach.
Back in at first standing is Joyce. Two and two the count on Zobrist. Rays and the Yankees, a day game tomorrow. Monday, the Rays will utilize as a travel day to head to Detroit. The count is full on Zobrist. Ben draws the walk. 2 men on, nobody out.
Well, bring a group of your family, friends, and coworkers to Tropicana Field and become a member of the Group Leader Rewards Program today. You can earn rewards such as free Rays tickets, a Desmond Jennings autographed bat, and much, much more. For more information, visit RaysBaseball.com/group-leader or call toll-free 855-GROUP-TB. Maybe be a little bit late in the game to come today, but you could certainly do it tomorrow.
That's exactly right. Well, here's Luke Scott. 3 RBIs, 3 hits, 3 for 3, and a run scored. And he's in here against the lefty. Strike 1. 2 runs home, nobody out in the inning. Fly ball back into right. Swisher has room to make the catch. Tag at second. Joyce heads to third. So it'll be first and third with 1 out. Sean Rodriguez is due to hit. Joe Girardi up and out of the dugout on his way to the mound. So the Yankees are going to make a pitching change, and this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all.
To 2. The Tampa Bay Times, formerly the St. Petersburg Times, changed its name to better reflect the region it serves. To subscribe to the Tampa Bay Times, call 877 The Times or visit tampabay.com/subscribe.
Well, Corey Wade is the new pitcher. Sean Rodriguez will bat against the Yankee right-hander. First plate appearance for Sean tonight. A breaking ball, curveball. 1 ball, no strikes. Sean entered defensively in the top of the inning. Now gets it at bat. And skies a popper on the left side. This is Nunez. Two gone. Jose Lobaton will get a chance. Lobaton doubled and scored in the second. Strike 1. 1-1 to count. Pena and Longoria have scored in the inning. Joyce with the runs batted in. Jennings has a run batted in tonight. Pena with 1. Joyce has 3 and Luke Scott the other 3. 8 runs, 10 hits, and an error for the Rays. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Yankees. Two. Matone fouls it, forcing another 2-2 pitch.
Get down with 2 strikes. You're just trying to battle foul pitches off, surviving up there at the plate, and hope the pitcher, in this case Corey Wade, makes a mistake. Prolong the at-bat.
Zobrist at first and Joyce at third. Strike on the inside corner. Retires Lobaton and the Rays in the 7th. On to the 8th, 8-2 Tampa Bay. Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. Rays have led throughout the evening, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 4-2, 6-2, and now 8-2. And the production for the Rays: Matt Joyce, Luke Scott with 3 runs batted in apiece. Jennings and Pena have 1 run batted in each. Josh Lukey is pitcher number 3. Peyton Hop worked 2/3 of an inning, made 1 pitch, got 2 outs on the double play ball. And Lukey faces Nick Swisher. Pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes.
Josh Lukey acquired from the Seattle Mariners in a trade for John Jaso. He brings a big fastball, young. power arm coming out of that bullpen for the Rays.
2-0 to count. Well, he took the spot in the bullpen when Farnsworth went on the disabled list. Behind Swisher, 3-0. And there's ball 4. So he walks Swisher on 4 pitches. Second time Swisher has walked tonight. David Price made 107 pitches in 6 1/3. Gave up the 2 runs and 5 hits. He walked 4 and struck out 5 through a wild pitch. Hayden Hop, his 2/3, and now Lukey on. Robinson Cano. Inside, that prompts a visit from Jose Lobaton.
Just having a hard time right now finding a consistent release point. Jim Hickey will come out.
So with Jim Hickey on his way to the mound, we'll take an opportunity to check in with Todd.
Well, Dwayne, we're going to ask fans in our text poll question the same question we asked last night, 2 for the price of 1, because we want to know, where do you think the Rays are going to end up? TB1, win the AL East. TB2, wild card number 1. TB3, wild card number 2. Or TB4, do you think the Rays missed the playoffs? Text those votes to 789-789, and we will have the results in our post-game show, gentlemen.
Okay. Visit complete on the mound. Lukey got into 25 games with Seattle last year. Did some closing at the AAA level at Tacoma. And had 11 saves, a couple of wins, and a 276 earned run average. And he finds the strike zone. Cano looks at strike 1. It's 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Lukey was originally in the Texas organization and then went to Seattle in the big trade the Rangers and the Mariners made involving Cliff Lee. That was in July of 2010. Rodney the righty, McGee the lefty in the Rays bullpen. And the count is square at 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 8th, and the Rays have a 6-run lead. Full count. David Price made the start. Jeremy Hellickson will pitch tomorrow for the Rays. Shot into right field. That ball's going to go to the wall. One hops the right field wall. And a nice job by Zobrist to play it off the carom. Swisher stops at third on a double by Cano. So a walk and a double, and the Yankees have 2 men in scoring position.
Boy, full count, that fastball creeping back down and in. Robinson Cano. Quick two. Takes some liberties right here. Ben Zobrist did a nice job, like you said, Dwayne, getting this ball off. Bare hand, turn and throw. Sean Rodriguez not looking right away to go to second base. Maybe had a shot if he turned and fired it, but he's looking for that run at the plate. Cano's able to sneak in the back door, and the Yankees with a little something brewing here in the 8th inning.
Now Alex Rodriguez. It's upstairs. Rodriguez walked his first time. The Rays have a bit of a cushion, but against this Yankee lineup, there's really no such thing as a cushion.
Yeah, and you don't want to be out there with this lineup trying to find a consistent release point, falling behind.
A pop-up right side. Pena, who was in, goes up the right field line into foul territory, makes the catch, and gets rid of the ball back down the line to the plate as the runners hold. Pena had to do some digging and made a nice play.
This ball skied. Carlos Pena, interesting angle he's got to take to get back to that ball and then turn, get rid of it quickly. Bluff down there by Nick Swisher, but being down 6 runs, it's going to be a whole lot of good to force the issue at this point.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Pitch is down. Teixeira retired in the 6th inning on a good play by Brignac. 1-1. It's that split-fingered pitch. Lukey with the fastball and a curveball, and you'll see the split from him. Foul ball back of first. 1-2. It's going to be caught by Rodriguez. They're going to get a double play. Sean's throw to Brignac, and they double up Cano. Well, the shift works again for the Rays. Teixeira lines into 2. We're headed into the bottom half of the 8th. 8-2 Tampa Bay. for the 8th inning here at Tropicana Field. Our Burger King in-game box score. Jennings with a base hit and a run batted in. Pena with a run batted in. Matt Joyce a home run and 3 RBIs. And Luke Scott 3 for 4 with 3 runs batted in tonight. Reed Brignac faces Corey Wade. And the pitch is down, a ball and no strikes. Two and 0. Reed fouls it back. More action in the bullpen for New York, a righty and a lefty. Fouls it. 2-2. David Phelps is the right-hander. Boone Logan the lefty. High ball back into right center field. Long run, and that ball is going to be caught by Swisher. He made a nice play. Ran directly to the spot. And Brignac is the first out.
Yeah, that was the key. You got to turn and go. A perfect line there by Swisher. Catches that ball right at the belt.
Now Desmond Jennings. There's a strike. Tap side of third, foul. 2 strikes now. Corey Wade on the hill for New York. He was on the mound in the 12th inning of the game 162 last year when Evan Longoria connected. He had a 2-2 pitch over the low wall down the left field line. It's out number 2. Jennings is out on strikes. Reminder, Rays Live, the post game presented by Checkers, coming up immediately following our coverage, including Joe Maddon's press conference, interviews from the clubhouse. Todd and Orestes will break down this game. Here's Carlos Pena against Wade. Pitch is a strike. One and one. Rays opened the scoring when they got a base hit from Luke Scott back in the first inning. That drove in 2. They've led throughout the evening. Two outs with the bases empty. First 2 men have been retired in this inning. That's happened in only one other inning tonight for the Rays. That was the 4th. Two and two. the count full. Another full count. That's 4 3-2 counts tonight for Carlos Pena. And he's out on strikes. Out in front of that one. The Rays are up and down in order. We go to the ninth. 8-2 Tampa Bay. Into the ninth inning. Josh Lukey goes back to the hill. Let's check in with Laura before Curtis Granderson steps in.
Thank you, Dwayne, and of course continue to follow us on Twitter. It's at SunSportsRays. Lots of tweets about Luke Scott. A lot of fans liking him, some saying that he looks a little bit like Wolverine, so I don't know if we need that nickname going. And also Steve tweets in, Luke Scott's mannerisms are like Wade Boggs or Pete Rose, asking, does anyone agree? Our own Todd Callis will interview Luke Scott in our Rays Live postgame show. Dwayne?
Thank you very much. Something additional to look forward to in the postgame. First pitch is a ball taken by Granderson. Extended coverage pre and post game this year of Rays baseball, home and road. Granderson lifts a long fly ball into left center. Joyce back to the wall, and it's off his glove. Granderson's on his way to third and will make it without a play.
Now you wonder right there if Matt Joyce had a hard time seeing it, because he was just drifting after what was really a routine fly ball. Just drifting, and then has to jump there to try to make the catch. There's plenty of time to get over there and set up. Just wonder if he had a good view of it.
That's going to go as a triple for Granderson. And you're right, both the Rays outfielders drifting a little bit there.
Well, you got Desmond Jennings used to play in left field. Matt Joyce used to play in right field.
And Matt had a little trouble earlier in the game tracking down a fly ball, and I think he had a little trouble finding that one. So that's a bad feeling for an outfielder when you're trying to figure out where you need to be and you can't find the ball.
Well, and the guy that hit the ball has had trouble in this ballpark locating fly balls out in center field.
That's right. Raul Ibanez is batting in the place of Andrew Jones. The count is 2-0 to him. He found himself in a bit of a spot in the 8th with minutes second and third, and got out of that unscored upon. Now a man at third, nobody out of the ninth, and he's behind Ibanez, 3-1. The count full. 3-2. Liner into center field. Jennings will make the catch. A tag at third. That scores Granderson. So it's 8-3. So Ibanez, as a pinch hitter, drives in the run. He had 4 runs batted in yesterday's opener. The Rays interested in outs right now. They have 2 to get, leading 8-3.
You're down here at the bottom of the order. Important for Josh Lukey to lock it into that strike zone and finish his ball game off.
One and all to count.
Get 4 of them.
Is down. A 2-0 count. Baltimore beat Minnesota 8-3. Well, the Orioles have won their first 2. Blue Jays were winners today in Cleveland. They won their first 2. The Rays trying to win their first 2. It's 3-0. Count to Russell Martin. Strike. Well, Peralta loosening in the bullpen for the Rays.
Joe not taking any chances, but boy, he does not want to have to bring in Peralta into this ball game.
And there is ball 4.
May not have a choice. This will drive Joe Madden and Jim Hickey crazy. I mean, and it's not, you're talking about just fastball command into zone. You can't just groove them, but you got to be able to fire strikes in there. You got a big lead. You're at the bottom of the order.
Chavez will pinch hit for Eduardo Nunez, and Hickey's going to go to the mound. Yeah, just a couple innings ago, Peralta was down there protecting the bullpen catchers when the Rays bullpen was up, and he made a nice play, harkening back to his infielder days when he first tried to run at professional baseball and then eventually wound up pitching. So he's loosening right now, and Hickey's taking a little time on the mound. Tomorrow's wrap-up game of the series in the homestand will find Jeremy Hellickson on the hill looking for his 3rd career win against the Yankees. 2-1 against them, coming off last year's 13-10 rookie season. Hellickson makes the start against Phil Hughes. Our coverage begins at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Chavez takes the pitch down. right. That's going to fall for a base hit. Martin advances to second. So with a run home and one out, 2 men are on base. And it will be the top of the order. Derek Jeter announced, and Lobaton goes to the mound.
Pitch here by Lukey up in the zone. Chavez goes right after it. Gets on top of it. Lines that ball out into right field. And now Lukey, 8 batters faced, 0 first pitch strikes. Continue to put yourself in a hole.
Well, they're checking on Peralta. And now the word that he's ready, and here comes Madden. And so Joe's going to go to the bullpen. So the Rays will make another call to the bullpen here, looking for the final 2 outs.
And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Rays lead 8-3, and we'd like to wish all of our forces listening and watching along the American Forces Network the very best and Godspeed. We'd love to have you home safe and sound, and we thank you for the great work you do. Here's Derek Jeter. Pitch is outside with Joel Peralta on the hill for the Rays.
See the numbers from last year. Joel Peralta worked a third of an inning in yesterday's ball game. He had some control issues, a couple of walks before he was able to get out of that inning.
Jeter pops it up. Will it stay playable? Pena's going to give it a chase, but it's about 6 rows deep. The count goes to 1-1. Peralta came on officially for a third of an inning, but walked Rodriguez and Teixeira and finally struck out Swisher. And a foul ball back on a fastball up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rodney and McGee up. They were both in the game yesterday. Martin at second. Chavez at first. 1-2 the count to Jeter. And he got him. He strikes him out. High fastball, and Jeter swung through it. Oh, Peralta gets out number 2.
Well, Joel Peralta just challenging Derek Jeter. 2 fastballs in a row, middle in. This one catches more of the plate than Peralta would have liked, but he gets it up high enough to get over the bat of Derek Jeter. Good shot of it right here.
And now it's Nick Swisher. He battled Swisher, went 3-2 on him yesterday, and finally got him with a fastball. Swisher takes a pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Swisher's 0 for 2. He's walked twice. David Price walked him in the 5th inning, and Lukey walked him in the 8th. He was the first man Lukey faced. Ball drive. That one is out of here. Swisher tees off on a fastball and hits a 3-run home run. So just like that, it's 8-6.
Oh, that's why Joe Madden had Peralta up. That's why he has double barrel action going right now in the bullpen. And he's going to go to the bullpen. This was a fastball. Peralta, again, catches a little bit too much plate. Unlike Jeter, this one, Swisher does not miss. This ball well struck. Center cut.
So it's a 4-run inning for the Yankees. And another pitching change. We'll be back in a moment. Two outs in the top of the 9th inning. Jake McGee becomes the 5th Rays pitcher. He's on to face Robinson Cano. Fernando Rodney stays busy in the bullpen.
You got to be aggressive here, Jake McGee. Lefty on lefty. You don't want to start to nibble, fall behind, and put Cano on with who's lurking on deck.
Cano Cano doubled in the 8th. And the first pitch is a ball. He's 1 for 4 on the night. There's Alex Rodriguez on deck. Cano 0 for 3 lifetime against McGee. And Jake drills him a strike. And it's 94.
And well located, down and away.
McGee faced Cano yesterday, got him on the fly ball to right center. One official inning in the game, and gets that one by him at 96. Some heat behind that one.
Yeah, that was just a straight challenge fastball. He reared back. He was trying to come in. That ball, he actually yanked it across the plate a little bit, but the extra velocity gets it by him.
A ball, 2 strikes. Cano steps back. 2-run ball game here in the 9th inning. McGee trying to close it out. 1-2. Up and away. Heat again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Another fastball trying to come in, yank it across the plate. You go in on a good hitter like Cano, you want to hump up a little bit. You got to trust your location and bury it in there.
2-2. Now full count.
You know, that's a pitch, the fastball in that you tried to go with the previous pitch. If he's making that pitch to a right-handed hitter, he probably has no problem making it. But with the lefty there, that body there does something to your brain, and you just don't trust yourself to be able to bore that ball in there. Needs to make a pitch here.
3-2. And a foul ball. He fouls it back into the screen on the fastball. Yesterday used 7 pitchers. McGee the 5th in this game. And McGee will make another 3-2 pitch to Robinson Cano. And he loses it. Cano walks. And here comes Madden. Alex Rodriguez due up. The Rays are going to go to the bullpen again. Back in a moment. By Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with Cyberknife and Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. By Buddy's Home Furnishings. And by the 2012 GMC Sierra. It's our best Sierra ever. Fernando Rodney gets the call from the Rays bullpen. Alex Rodriguez will be the hitter for the New York Yankees. Rodney in the game yesterday pitched a 1-2-3 ninth, was the eventual winner. He's trying to close this one out. Rodriguez 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. And the pitch hit on the ground over the bag at second. And the Rays are winners. Rodriguez made the play. One pitch takes care of Alex Rodriguez. And the Rays win it 8-6. New York puts up a 4-run ninth. They fall too short. And the Rays have taken the first 2 games of this series, winning yesterday 7-6 and winning tonight 8-6. David Price will get the win, and Fernando Rodney, one pitch to post the save. And as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Luke Scott gave the Rays the early lead with a base hit, driving in 2 in the first. Scott finished the night with 3 hits, doubled in a run and scored a run in the 6th. He had 3 runs batted in, 2 singles and a double. He made the start as the designated hitter, and hit he did. The Rays pounded out 10 hits, and the Rays win it 8-6. Right now, let's go to the field, and Todd Callis standing by with Luke Scott.
Thanks, Dwayne. Luke, when you come to a new team, even though you've been around the big leagues for a while, nice to get off to a good start like this in your first DH role.
Yeah, it is. I mean, got a good thing going here with this group of guys, and to come out and get a good start, it's definitely a blessing.
What did you know about Kuroda going in? How much video do you watch, or do you talk to some guys that may have faced him?
You try and watch as much video as you can against hitters that have the same tendencies that you do, and just form a game plan. Just take an approach to the plate to where which side of the field you're going to work, or what type of bat path you're going to try and take, and just do your best, and play the chess game once the game starts.
Was part of that chess game to be aggressive early in the count, or did you just happen to have pitches, both your RBIs coming on first pitches?
Well, I think it comes to the game plan is more like becoming a hunter. I think it's okay if I'm looking at a certain pitch or location, and if I get something in that zone, then let's take an ace swing at it and try and do some damage. If it's not there, take it and let's look for something else.
What are your thoughts about being here with the Rays in the first couple of games against the Yankees? Kind of fun?
I tell you, I'm truly blessed to be here and be a part of this organization and be able to play at home here in Florida with my family, so close by, and be part of this team. It's just a great group of guys, and I'm just so thankful to be here.
A lot of the fans on our broadcast said they like the Wolverine look. Is that staying for a while?
Yeah, I usually shave it. This is my winter coat, and after I get done with my hunting up in the north, I usually shave it once things start warming up. But I'm kind of crumbling under peer pressure to not shave it. The guys won't let me shave it.
The Rays players, right, are saying you got to stay with it.
Got to stay with it.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Luke Scott, guys, 3 hits tonight. Back to you.
All right, Todd. Thank you very much. All's well that ends well. As it turns out, the Rays are 8-6 victors here. Final out, Alex Rodriguez on the only pitch thrown by Fernando Rodney. Hit it on the ground, and Sean Rodriguez threw him out. We'll be back more in a moment.